Did you know that narratives claiming Africans were incapable of building monumental structures were used to justify colonial rule? Today, we embark on a journey to unravel some of Africa's most compelling historical mystery stories, not of the supernatural, but of societies misunderstood, erased, or only partially reconstructed. These are tales where missing pieces aren't due to magic, but to archaeological neglect, colonial destruction, and lost archives. We begin our exploration with Great Zimbabwe, a majestic stone city rising from the Zimbabwean landscape. Built between the 11th and 15th centuries, Great Zimbabwe stands as a testament to the ingenuity and architectural prowess of local African societies. For years, colonial narratives attempted to attribute its construction to foreign powers, denying the agency and capabilities of the indigenous people. Today, archaeologists have firmly established that Great Zimbabwe was indeed built by Africans. However, the full story of its social origins and internal political history remains a subject of ongoing debate. Who were the masterminds behind this impressive urban center? What were the intricacies of their society, their trade networks, and political structures? While the racist claims of foreign builders have been debunked, the internal complexities of Great Zimbabwe continue to fascinate and challenge researchers. Moving south, we encounter the enigmatic stone homesteads and cattle kraals scattered across northern Mpumalanga in South Africa. Often cited as a South African man-made mystery, these structures are believed to be the work of the Bakoni people, who arrived in the area in the early 17th century. While the Bakoni provide a plausible explanation, questions still persist about the full extent of their settlement and the precise dating of these stone structures. Could there be more to this story than meets the eye? Further adding to the rich tapestry of South African history are the Lydenburg heads, 7 remarkable terracotta sculptures discovered near Lydenburg. Unearthed in 1957 by a young boy named Ludwig von Bezen, these heads represent some of the earliest known ceramic sculptures in southern Africa. The Lydenburg heads are not isolated artifacts. The discovery site also yielded iron and copper beads, pottery, and bones, suggesting a larger inhabited landscape rather than a single ritual location. What was the purpose of these enigmatic heads? What role did they play in the lives of the people who created them? While scholars can approximate their age and describe their form, a full understanding of their cultural and religious significance remains elusive. Our journey then takes us to West Africa, to the ancient kingdom of Benin. In February 1897, British forces stormed Benin City, resulting in the infamous Benin Punitive Expedition. This event led to the looting of thousands of invaluable objects, including the renowned Benin bronzes. These bronzes were not merely decorative art pieces. They functioned as royal archives, visual records, ritual objects, and powerful political statements. Their removal by the British was a devastating act of cultural destruction, robbing Benin of its historical memory and artistic heritage. The legacy of the Benin bronzes continues to resonate today in global debates on restitution and museum ethics. Should these treasures remain in foreign museums, or should they be returned to their rightful home in Benin? Who truly owns history? Venturing further into the heart of Africa, we encounter the Saw civilization, which flourished in the Chad Basin from the 6th century BC to the 15th century AD. Despite their long presence, the Saw people remain shrouded in mystery. Their language, origin, and culture are poorly understood. They left behind impressive archaeological remains, including fortified settlements and distinctive terracotta figurines, but written records are scarce. The Saw civilization serves as a potent reminder of how much African history remains to be uncovered. What secrets lie buried beneath the sands of the Chad Basin? What can we learn from the material culture they left behind? These examples highlight how the survival of unresolved questions around African sites often changes how African history is written. Archaeologists must rely more heavily on material culture, oral tradition, and comparative regional evidence, rather than colonial written accounts alone. This requires a shift in perspective, moving away from Eurocentric narratives and embracing the rich diversity of African knowledge systems. The reinterpretation of Great Zimbabwe supports modern heritage politics in Zimbabwe and across Africa by affirming that Africans built complex states, trade networks, and monumental architecture on their own terms. Debates over the Benin bronzes are directly tied to modern African museum policy, restitution claims, and the return of cultural property taken during colonial conquest. The reconstruction of histories like the Bakoni and So informs current work in African archaeology, where scholars are trying to recover local histories that were ignored or misread under colonial rule. Public fascination with African mystery still shapes tourism, national identity, and media coverage, but the strongest scholarship treats these sites as evidence of historical complexity, not exotic riddles. The biggest suppressed history issue is the long colonial claim that monumental African sites were built by outsiders. Great Zimbabwe is the clearest example of that false narrative being used to erase African achievement. The Benin bronzes are tied to a documented act of imperial violence in 1897, and the ongoing dispersal of these objects across museums remains a live controversy over ownership and restitution. The story of Africa is not one of a dark continent waiting for European enlightenment. It is a story of vibrant civilizations, complex societies, and remarkable achievements. By confronting the silences and challenging the dominant narratives, we can begin to piece together a more complete and accurate picture of Africa's rich and multifaceted past. The mysteries are not evidence of absence, but invitations to further inquiry. They are reminders that the pursuit of historical truth is an ongoing process, one that requires critical thinking, open minds, and a willingness to challenge established norms. The journey of understanding African history is far from over, and the discoveries that await us promise to reshape our understanding of the human story. Aerial view of the Great Zimbabwe ruins at sunrise. No people, golden light, cinematic 8K.